If you're a vegetarian, I'm sure you've heard the talk about vitamin B12. But what if there was a simple, science-backed way to nail your daily goal every single day? Well, in this explainer, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're building that blueprint together. All right, here's our game plan. We're going to start with the B12 challenge itself, then unpack this fascinating absorption puzzle, which, trust me, is the key to all of this. From there, we'll build out your toolkit, lay out a daily blueprint, and then wrap up with how to stay on track. It's a really clear path from the problem straight to the solution. Okay, first things first, the B12 challenge. So why is this one vitamin such a huge deal for vegetarians? Let's get into it. So, if you're a vegetarian, you've heard the B12 warnings, right? But what you probably don't know is that getting enough isn't just about picking the right foods. It's actually about solving a very specific biological puzzle that's happening inside your own body. So, what are we even talking about here? Vitamin B12, also known as cobalamin, is absolutely critical. It's a major player in creating red blood cells, building your DNA, and keeping your whole nervous system running smoothly. Just some of your body's most important jobs. Now, here's a really important detail. Not all B12 is the same. Your body can only use what's called active B12. That's the good stuff you find in dairy and fortified foods. But then there's this other thing, pseudo B12, which you might find in something like spirulina. And here's the kicker. Not only is it useless to your body, it can actually get in the way and block the real stuff from being absorbed. So yeah, focusing on the right sources is a really big deal. And that leads us perfectly into the absolute core of our strategy. The absorption puzzle. Seriously, understanding this one thing is the secret to getting all the B12 you'll ever need. Okay, here's the number you need to remember. 2.4 micrograms. But look at that key word right there, absorbed. This isn't about how much B12 you eat. It's all about how much your body can actually grab onto and put to work. And here is the catch. This is the piece of the puzzle that changes everything. Your body has this really efficient system for absorbing B12, but it has a bottleneck. It can only take in about 1.5 micrograms from any one meal. Anything more than that in a single sitting, it's pretty much just wasted. So that brings up a pretty obvious question, doesn't it? If your goal for the day is 2.4 micrograms, but you can only absorb 1.5 at a time, how on earth are you supposed to hit that target? It sounds kind of impossible. Well, the secret is actually brilliantly simple. You just have to work with your body's system, not try to fight it. So instead of one giant dose, you eat smaller amounts of B12-rich foods, and, this is the important part, you space them out. Give your body a few hours between them. This lets that absorption pathway kind of reset itself between meals. Okay, so we've got this strategy down. Now let's assemble our toolkit with the best vegetarian-friendly foods to get the job done. For vegetarians, our most reliable sources of that good active B12 are going to be dairy products and fortified foods. Foods that have had vitamins added to them. And while fortified plant milks and cereals are great options, the real superstar here is Fortified Nutritional Yeast. It's the savory, kind of cheesy seasoning that is just packed with B12. Let's actually look at the numbers here, because this makes it super clear. This table shows the difference between what you eat and what you actually get. So a glass of milk has about 0.9 micrograms, but you're only absorbing about half of that. Now look at the nutritional yeast. A full serving has a whopping 5 micrograms. But remember that 1.5 cap? You're only getting a fraction of it. But, and this is so cool, if you have just half a serving, your body becomes way more efficient at absorbing it. And this chart just illustrates the power of splitting your dose perfectly. Look at this. You eat one full serving of nutritional yeast all at once, you absorb about 1.5 micrograms. But if you take that exact same amount and just split it into 2 half servings at different meals, your total absorbed B12 jumps all the way up to around 2.25 micrograms. It's the same food, the same total amount, but a much smarter strategy. So the big question is, how do we turn all this science into a simple daily plan? Let's build your action blueprint right now. Here it is, your day-to-day B12 blueprint. Step 1. Take 1 serving of fortified nutritional yeast, split it in half. Step 2. Have 1 half with lunch, the other half with dinner. Just by doing that, you're already at about 2.25 micrograms of absorbed B12. So close. Then, step 4 is easy. Just add a small serving of milk or curd at some point in the day. That gives you that little extra bit you need to just sail right past your 2.4 microgram goal. It's really that simple. And that's really the whole strategy right there in a nutshell. 1 split serving of yeast plus a little bit of dairy, and boom, your daily B12 goal is met. It's simple, it's elegant, and it's super effective. Okay, finally, let's talk about making this last. Because a great plan needs a few ground rules to make sure it keeps working for you in the long run. So how do you make this stick? Well, first, consistency is everything. Make it a daily habit. Second, get an annual blood test. That way you know for sure exactly where you stand. Third, and this is important, always chat with your doctor for advice that's tailored to you. And finally, you might want to consider a low-dose supplement as a backup. Think of it like an insurance policy. It's just a simple way to get some peace of mind.
So there you have it, the science, the strategy, and the step-by-step blueprint. You now have a clear, totally actionable plan to finally solve the B12 puzzle for good. It's a tiny little daily habit, but it's one that can make a huge difference for your health. So the only question left is, what's your B12 plan going to be?